In the new chapter of Modulo that dropped today, we finally learned exactly how the Sumerians came to Earth. And that shit kinda don't make sense to me. First, we learned about the Sumerians' third eye and how they only cry out of it when they're born or they die. At least most of them, except for the Rumelians when a Callian dies. Shedding tears out of this third eye can be fatal for Sumerians. So the Callians are pretty important to these folks. So the Duskunte are mad at the Rumelians, right? Low-key understandably because the chief's daughter was murked by a Callian. And they're demanding like a whole bunch of stuff from the Romanians. Basically, they want everything from these folks. And basically, the Diskunte's way of settling this is a duel between the two strongest warriors from each one of the tribes. Of course, our boy Dura is the one the Rumelians are going to choose to fight. Turns out he's won many of these battles before. But this time is different. Everybody knew as soon as this crazy looking mofo stepped in the ring that it was over with for Dura. Turns out they know each other, and that boy Debura has a little bit of respect for Dura, so lets him give his little speech. And Dura exposes the truth for the actual reason that Skute don't mess with the Rumelians, which it turns out wasn't actually because of the Callians, it was because of a resource named Mul. Mul is a special ore that can turn Roluluka, which is their form of cursed energy, into all different types of energy. So the war was on resources and not actually culture. But the Deskunte leader tells the Dura to begin basically, and he immediately murks that boy Dura. Low diff, not even scratch. Turns out they were best friends, so Debura did his best not to damage that boy Dura's face. But it turns out that boy Dura left Maru and crossed a giant resource stockpile of mul. But apparently this mul is of a greater purity than regular mul. And apparently by using their cursed energy, they can turn this shit into a spaceship. It's kind of BS, but I mean, you know, create a giant, I don't care. But that boy Debura, of course we knew he was gonna go with them, but he says, I'll go with you. Why did he unalive that boy Dura in the first place then? If Dura had a thinking brain, right, he could have made this spaceship thingy or whatever, invited Dura to go, and they'll go. There's no discourse, there's nothing but agreements from Dura to go with them. This man didn't have to fight Dura in the first place. They could have made this stupid spaceship thing or whatever. They could have all flown off into space and just left. They could have just left. That boy Dura didn't have to die for this. And of course they're gonna say, oh, they kidnapped his sister or whatever. You think they were stopping this man from getting her back? I feel like this is a lot of slow activities from a lot of places in the chain here. But hey, let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all think Debura even had to do what he did to Dura in the first place, or they could have just done this from the beginning and made a spaceship and left.